the sport you care about, we're talking about it. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Eric Frandsen, Ajay, Salvesen with you here on a Wednesday. A couple different things we want to discuss today here on the Full Court Press. We've got special guests we're going to be speaking with the Logan Stampede. So you have high school, college, NFL football. It's by and large in the fall. This year it's odd. It's different than normal where you've got some FCS schools playing right now here in the spring. But normally your football fix, you just have to wait until the fall. But we've got some local football happening here in the Valley coming up here in the next few weeks. And so we'll get a chance to talk a little bit more about the Logan Stampede. That's coming up a little bit later on this hour. The NBA trade deadline is fastly approaching. Will the Utah Jazz make a move? Are there any notable moves going on in the NBA? And will it, how much of a difference will it make? Jazz are back in action tonight, taking on the Brooklyn Nets. But they're taking on a Brooklyn Nets that's, dare we say, mostly neutered. They don't have hardly any of their high-profile players that will be available for them tonight. No James Harden. No Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving, and not even their new acquisition, Blake Griffin. So, interesting to see what happens there with the Utah Jazz and the Brooklyn Nets. Last time they faced the Brooklyn, it was a close game, except not really. And so the Jazz certainly going to have should have some memory of what happened last time, enact some revenge, but it'll be against not a fully staffed team, not even close. But still, Utah Jazz hold one of the best home records. They have not lost in Salt Lake City since the end of December. Now, because I have said that, I may jinx them, but that is more of your superpower, Ajay. I don't mean to steal any of your power or your authority there, because you're the one who is the jinxie. But the Jazz should be able to take care of Brooklyn tonight. Shouldn't be much of a contest.
Should, but again, the Jazz are always one of those teams that likes to play down to their level.
Case in point, the last home game they had against the Houston Rockets.
Yep. And they were came out flat. And did they win the game? Yeah, but I mean, it was a lot closer than it should have been. There was a lack of sense of urgency. There was a lack of, and almost entitlement. Like, hey, look, we are the Utah Jazz. We are the best team in the league. We're going to play like it tonight. There was no swagger. I mean, it was just kind of laziness. So that was frustrating to watch. But without Harden, without Kyrie, without Durant, without Griffin, this should be a runaway. I mean, it should be a runaway for the Jazz at home. No reason why it shouldn't be a 15-plus point win. And if it's not, then we've got major issues.
I should see. I don't even know. What is
I was going to ask what the line was. Do you know?
Currently, the Jazz are favored by 11. I would take the Jazz to cover. Over-under at 230.
Wow.
Huh. I don't know. I might take the under on that, though.
Really?
Just defensively, Jazz would want to try to slow them down. But so we'll have that full game here on The Fan coming up a little bit later on this evening. Pre-game coverage at 7:50. It's an 8 p.m. tip-off tonight. It's an ESPN game. I can't imagine the folks at ESPN are particularly pleased that this will be a game without James Harden, without Blake Griffin, without Kyrie Irving, without Kevin Durant for the Brooklyn Nets. But for the Jazz, sure, it's the number one team in the NBA. Got them.
Are we still number one team?
Yes.
Okay.
By a couple of games.
Hey, so what's our stretch of schedule right here coming up? What does it look like for the Jazz?
What's our stretching schedule?
No, I said stretch of a schedule.
Start off with my glutes.
No, nobody cares what your flabby thighs are doing.
My hamstrings.
Oh my gosh, stop it. This is not that kind of a line here. The crap is your problem?
You asked.
No, you took that question and rearranged it and ran away with it into it. Okay, I got it right here. So home against Brooklyn, Memphis, Cleveland, and then at Memphis on March 31st. So you got 4 straight home games. Then you're at Memphis. 2-game homestand, Chicago, Orlando. 2-game road swing at Dallas and Phoenix. And then home for 5 games. Portland, Sacramento, Washington, Oklahoma City, and Indiana.
The Jazz should be favored in so many of these
Okay, so
games.
yeah, in fact, you know what? Let's do this. Brooklyn at home tonight, they're favored, absolutely. Memphis twice at home, yes?
I think Utah should be able to beat them. Yeah, I think the Jazz should be favored in those games.
In fact, the standings say of Memphis right now.
They're right now in the 10th position. They're 20-20.
Okay, so I think that's back-to-back home wins, at least at home. Cleveland should be a win, right?
Yes.
At home. You're at Memphis. That one might be a little bit tougher. I would understand. I mean, if they lose that game, they do.
Memphis at home, they are 11-13. They're 9-7 on the road.
Wow. They're on the road. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, but then they're home against Chicago and Orlando. Chicago's kind of a problem. They've gotten a little bit better. Orlando at home, they should beat.
Yes.
So then that gives you...
And that could be a very different-looking Orlando team.
Dallas and Phoenix.
Approaching the trade deadline.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dallas and Phoenix on the road, they're going to go 0-2.
I think they beat Dallas. Well, I don't know. They split that series. Phoenix is right behind Utah in the West. They're 2 games behind the Jazz. Dallas is currently 22-19. They're kind of quietly getting their act together and improving.
Yeah, I think Dallas and Phoenix both beat us on the road. That does scare me just a tad bit. And then Sacramento, Washington, Oklahoma City, and Indiana all at home. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight wins. At home. Even though it's a back-to-back coming from Phoenix to home against Portland. Oh, wait, that's Portland. Sorry, I missed it. They got Portland at home, so they'll lose that one. Sacramento, Washington, Oklahoma City, and Indiana. So they'll lose 1 out of those 5. But 4-1's not bad.
4-1's not bad.
And then they got the Lakers on the 17th and 19th in back-to-back games. And I don't know if LeBron's going to be back by then. I don't know what his status will be. Huh. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with the Lakers. Just some real uncertainty there with Anthony Davis and his return. How long will LeBron be out? They're really at risk of slipping. They've got one of the toughest schedules to finish out the year.
Yeah, they do.
So they're at risk of falling near the very bottom of the current standings. And by the way, Ajay, this is one of those rare instances I need to bring up here.
Oh, this ought to be good.
I apologize. You were right.
What?
I was wrong.
What? Can you say that again? I have...
Last night on the show when we weren't paying attention to the clock.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
That's another apology I need to make. But you were talking about the Jazz finishing out the season, and I didn't think they had that many games. And it threw us both kind of for a loop, and we weren't paying attention to the clock, and it snuck up on us.
It snuck up on us.
So the Jazz have, 30 games left?
Yep.
Okay. For some reason, I had it in my head they only had 20
well, he said
left.
20. I was like, that can't be right, man. But okay, sure, we'll go with 20 for now until you're wrong. Hey, by the way, Leon Rice texted in. He wants to know about his team. What are the odds that Colorado State and Boise play each other in the NIT?
Odds are probably
pretty
decent.
Good. Yeah,
Colorado State and Boise won their opening rounds.
Yeah, but Boise State's got a massive, massive problem with Memphis. Like, Memphis is very lengthy, incredibly athletic. They're going to be a big problem, and especially without ACOT, they're going to be a big problem for the Boise State Broncos.
Coming up tomorrow, Colorado State plays NC State at 5 o'clock, and Boise State plays Memphis at 7. Memphis is the other number 1 seed.
Hey, by the way, I'll have to look this up.
Still alive.
But I think because we are in that little like contract obligation with Westwood One, I think we air the NIT championship too. I'll have to look that up.
Oh.
But I think we air the NIT championship. I'll have to look that up. That's not
Semifinals are March 27th. The third place game will be March 28th.
There's a third place game? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the championship will be later that day on March 28th.
If Boise State can win tonight, I think Boise State and the Rams will see each other.
So,
Or tomorrow night, I should say.
if Colorado State beats NC State, they advance to the semifinals.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah, it should be. And if Boise State gets past Memphis, they move on to the semifinals. They will face each other. And I believe that is at the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas.
Oh, Frisco.
That's where the rest of the games are being played, in the Comerica Center in Frisco,
I love Frisco,
Texas.
Man, I'm a huge fan of that place now.
Frisco. So not at Madison Square Garden. It is a departure from normally where the NIT is held, but there is a good likelihood that Colorado State and Boise State could face each other in the semifinals on March 27th.
And Colorado State's going to give them a lot of problems too. That's a good team. We had a good league this year. I don't know what it's going to be like next year. Things are going to be different, but this year it was a good league.
Did you see? I got to see if I can find it. Chris Murray.
No, I did not.
Mountain West NCAA tournament units in the current 6-year cycle. So every time you win a game, it's considered an NCAA tournament unit.
Sure.
And there's a dollar figure attached to that.
Yeah.
So each game you win, it's an additional unit. And then they send money back to the conference over a period of time. Okay. So Mountain West NCAA tournament units in the current 6-year cycle. So from 2016 to 2021.
Okay.
That number is 10. The Mountain West NCAA tournament units in the 6-year cycle before that, that's 2010 to 2015, 33.
What?
So the Mountain West has been struggling to get multiple teams to the Mountain West or to the NCAA tournament, and struggling further in winning, in the NCAA tournament, and that's creating a financial problem for the conference.
I need to.
I retweeted that, by the way. So if you follow me on Twitter,
yeah, I need to find that. I need to find out like how many times we've sent 3+ teams to the Mountain West, or from the Mountain West to the NCAA tournament. I know things are kind of changed. I mean, just the way, what teams are in and teams are part of the conference now, but I'd be interested to see how many bids we've gotten throughout, since 2010.
Okay, so he kind of breaks it down a little
sweet.
bit. But not quite with that detail that you're looking for. The Mountain West earned 6 units in 2010, 7 in 2011, 5 in 2012, 7 in 2013, 4 in 2014, and 4 in 2015.
Look, as much as we might hate BYU, and we do,
and Utah.
Yeah, and Utah. They were major getters for us in the Mountain West. Before we were in the Mountain West, they were major getters for the Mountain West Conference. And, Jimmer Fredette and the Cougars took them to elite status. The Utes did the same thing. We may not like them, but they were big helpers of the Mountain West Conference to get where they were.
Another point from Chris Murray's column on Nevada Sportsnet. The Mountain West has not had more than 2 teams in the NCAA tournament since 2015, with only one team racking up multiple units in a tournament since 2016, and that was Nevada back in 2018.
I heard Boise State is really thrilled about advancing, past the first round of the NIT, and that a writer went out there and said, even no matter what happens tomorrow night against the Memphis Tigers, unlike the NCAA tournament teams, San Diego State and Utah State, Boise State can say that they advanced past the first round. And I was like, don't do that. You know better.
Yeah, I saw something else of maybe the same certain writer saying Boise State and Colorado State still playing meaningful basketball.
Oh, I know. I nearly said something too. So what I've learned to do, and I think I did it with you a couple times, is I'll tweet something. Well, I'll write out the tweet and then screenshot it, send it to you, and then I either get a yes or a no, and I'm like, okay, I'll delete it now.
I'm your final judge.
Yeah, I'm like, Eric, can I? No. Crap. Okay.
One last thing on this, and because I think it's fascinating, just the financial aspect of how it affects teams and how it affects the conference. So each unit, it's not that financial payment doesn't come in one lump sum right away. It's paid out over time. Chris Murray explains it this way. Each unit is worth roughly $290,000 this year, paid by the NCAA to the conference of that school. Each unit has a life of 6 years. So one unit this season is worth roughly $1.74 million over its life. Those payouts are then split evenly among the conference's schools.
So that kind of answers your question, or the question here from Leon Rice. Two things. Leon says, can Ajay be our sister Gina and pray the way she does so the Aggies can win the NCAA tournament? No, because God's a BYU fan. And then he asked, does the Mountain West get any money for the NIT? Do they?
There is some distribution, yes. How it works in compared to the NCAA, it's significantly less, but I don't know what that number is, to be honest. And this year, a little bit different than most, but the NIT, much of it was the financial draw of at least being able to participate in the NIT is that you could host a lot of those first couple of rounds, and those are opportunities to sell more tickets, sell more concessions, more in-game sponsorships, yada, yada, yada. And so there was that financial aspect of still participating. But even if you were a traveling team, you would be able to get some of those proceeds. But what that is, I don't know, to be honest. Where's intern Cody? Where'd he go? Should bird dog him on that.
He's delivering pizza tonight. He's doing his job.
Yeah. We'll sick intern Cody.
Tomorrow Cody will be here, and we got a job for him.
Yeah. So what's the NIT payout? It's a good question.
It is a good question.
But the bottom line is the Mountain West, the top half of the Mountain West has consistently been pretty good. But the bottom half of the Mountain West drags everybody else down. And some of those schools, they don't really have a whole lot of signs of life. Like, we're going to see improvement out of them. This year, though, I mean, it seems a little bit of an anomaly to have as many schools as 300 net ranking or worse.
Yeah.
Air Force, New Mexico, San Jose, that's kind of rare for the Mountain West to have those three teams that bad. San Jose, flirting down in that area, yeah, that's pretty common. New Mexico, not common. Air Force, not that common. But Mountain West has to collectively keep trying to get better. I mean, they've got a schedule tough for opponents. I mean, this the money that comes from the NCAA, that's helpful. This new TV contract with Fox Sports and CBS for football, that's going to be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Helping the bottom line for a lot of these athletic departments.
Yeah, it's a financial get, right? It's a financial help. As a certain Boise State writer pointed out, the conference is the reason, and I guess the Aggies and the Aztecs are a reason why we don't get $1.4 million as well, because we lost our games. God bless Boise, man.
Oh, my word.
That still is funny as heck. I love that. Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
With Craig Smith coming back.
Okay.
Do the Aggies have the personnel and the coaching to get more units from the NCAA tournament? Can they win a game and advance to the next round?
Coaching, yes. Personnel, no. If we're going to be honest.
Way too early to tell. We don't know.
Oh, yeah. Extremely early.
who's coming, who's going to leave, what
Yeah.
the new recruits are going to look like.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I know we talked a little bit about it yesterday about what this team could look like next year. I don't know about Bairstow. I mean, he's kind of got buried on the depth chart. When you got Raleigh, Liam McChesney's coming back, by the way. Marco, Brock, Ashworth, Shulga. That's 6 guys without even mentioning Bairstow, who seemed like he digressed this year. I think. I know people are curious about Fonzo. I would say he's gone. I don't think he's coming back either. Keda's gonna go. He should go.
He should go.
Yeah. It's like, look, what is it? The pot is hot. Go, get out of here, get yours, and he deserves to. So no Fonzo, no Keda. You lose Kuba, but I mean Kuba wasn't playing anyways. Yeah, I mean you got to go look at some guard talent. Where does it look like and what does it look like? So
they don't need to recruit a point guard.
No, sorry. Yeah,
there's an embarrassment of riches at the point guard position. They need a shooter.
But isn't that a guard?
It's a guard, yeah, but
So
a shooter. You don't need somebody that's going to initiate offense. You need a shooter.
Okay,
Somebody
but here's the problem:
6'5", 6'6".
Okay, so then what do you do with guys like Brock, Marco, Shulga, and maybe Shulga could play point? I don't know, but you already got
Shulga is kind of a point.
Yeah, but okay, so then you got Ashworth, Shulga, Raleigh, Marco. Who else is Brock, and one more.
Well, Brock's kind of that shooter or small forward position. So
I wonder if Brock's
shooting
back's
guard,
gonna
small
hold
forward,
up, though, man.
Because I guess technically, if we looked at it, I mean, rosters these days aren't 1 through 5 in traditional roles anymore.
That's true.
But somebody who's at 6'5", 6'6", who can shoot. When you need a bucket, you can hit a bucket.
Yeah, they need a guy who can score, like is a bucket getter. They had Kobe McEwen, then they had Sam, then they had Nemish. But Nemish was a center. You need a guard who can go get you a bucket.
Right, and if you can't get the ball to Nemish, you can't do anything.
And you can't make shots, you're done for. We saw that this year. When the guards can't make a shot and Keda is being quadruple teamed by 5 guys and they're leaving all their guards around the perimeter open, we are in deep trouble. Is that crazy? Like, I didn't think it'd be that big of a weakness to have our guards. I mean, without Sam Merrill. Look, I knew the loss of Sam Merrill would be tough, but I thought the quality, like, our guards had open looks all day, and they couldn't make them. 9463 really quickly. I feel like Shulga has just astronomical amounts of hidden talent that we don't know about, and he just needs the confidence to kind of let loose and get more of a green light from Coach Smith, and he could explode next year. I would agree with that, and I think Shulga's going to have a big year next year. Absolutely.
I think the way he improved as the year went on and started to get more significant minutes outside of the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, of course. But I think that we saw his trajectory, so I agree. I think 9463 is spot on.
Are you worried about Dorius?
Am I worried about Dorius?
Can he handle it? I mean, if he ends up starting, or if he were to end up playing heavy minutes, you worried about it? I mean, I like Dorius a lot. It just, man, he was tough to watch sometimes.
Yeah, but he had some pretty good games where he was solid in the paint, just not screwing up. Really, sometimes that's all you need from a spot on the floor. He doesn't need to be the featured guy. So it's always tough to replace a legend.
Yeah.
To be the guy that replaces the guy.
That's true. Dorius has got to be. And then the problem is that in the rest of Aggie Nation will probably compare every game Dorius has to where Keda was.
Yeah, that's totally unfair.
Well, Keda will do this. Well, Keda's in the NBA. Calm down. Dorius is not going to play in the NBA. Okay? He's going to be one of those 98 or 99.3% NCAA athletes who go pro in something else other than basketball.
Look, if he can anchor the post, play solid defense, grab some rebounds, he'll get some putbacks. You don't need him to average a double-double a game. If he can average 6 points, 5 boards, I think most people would be okay with that. 4 fouls?
Because
Because you're going to have Bean that's going to be there cleaning up.
That's true.
You're going to have other guys that can shoot and create. Hopefully we have somebody who can attack the rim.
I need to see more of Shimon. I want to see more of what he looks like. I'm kind of intrigued by this guy. Coaches love him.
Right, who's if Dorius is going to be the de facto starter because of the minutes and where he played as the backup role, if he's going to move into the starter position, what's the backup going to look like?
Yeah.
Is that Zapala?
Yeah.
Is it McChesney? Is it somebody else?
Just got a text from Tony. Dorius will average 5 turnovers in 10 minutes of play. I think Dorius' biggest problem is he just needs to be physical with the ball. Like, go up like a big man in Division I basketball. No soft stuff. Go up with it, hold it, be physical, dunk it. No softness in Division I basketball.
There's some young, good, talented big men in the Mountain West.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, I would agree.
He's going to have his hands full. I'd love to continue to get your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions on the Guild Mortgage text line, 435-339-0321. Don't forget Guild Mortgage. They can select from hundreds of different loan products tailored to your needs, so they can help you out. Find the right loan to fit your life, and they help sponsor our text line. Guild Mortgage, you can call 435-294-2480. We're going to take a quick step aside here in the Full Court Press. When we come back on the other side, let's talk some football, shall we?
Yes, football in spring?
I know. And we're not talking about spring practices or spring scrimmages.
No.
It's like the real deal.
They called and asked if I want to be the starting running back today. They asked, we just think you got great skill, great hands, great speed. That was a hard decision to make.
Is it because you'll disappear behind the offensive line? No one will know.
I'm going to pull a Mark Sanchez and
where you come from?
Run right into the butt of our offensive lineman and fumble the ball. Still the greatest play ever.
Logan Stampede coming up next here on the Full Court Press.
We all believe our team is the best. Whether you're a Bobcat, a Wolf, a Grizzly, a Mustang, or a Riverhawk, we can all agree on one thing. Les Olson Company is the best choice for your office technology needs. So if you need to copy it, print it, scan it, or network it, Les Olson Company is there for all of your office technology needs. Just Les Olson it. Visit lesolsonit.com today.
Les Olson Company.
There's a lot of strain on various industries right now. Supplies stretched thin as demand is at an all-time high. If you are building or remodeling and are looking for ideas for stone to face your home, it's crazy! Coldwater Stone and Tree Mountain and Castellite and Logan want to take that frustration and challenge away from you. They are a local homegrown business with stone products made by Coldwater and sold by Castellite. Stop in and make your choice today for brick, block, rock, paver, and tile. Go where the pros go. Online at castellite.com.
Hi, my name is Josh Watts, and for 3 generations, Preston Watts Collision Glass has taken care of all your collision and auto glass needs. Windshield replacement is just one of our specialties. We have certified technicians and the most competitive prices in the valley. We will waive up to $100 off your insurance deductible, give you free rock chip repairs, and to top it off, we'll wash your vehicle inside and out with your windshield replacement. Give us a call at 563-3215. At Preston Watts, we do it right.
The Spice on Ice team at the Eccles Ice Center has been working hard to bring you an amazing virtual auction full of fun and useful items for the entire family. With the help of the Malou Foundation, you can bid on items that would have been available at this year's Spice on Ice auction. The annual Spice on Ice event and auction raises funds for the Eccles Ice Center. Due to COVID-19, this year's event is canceled and critical funds will be lost. Without your help and donations, the Eccles Ice Center may not be able to keep all programs available throughout the year. Please go to ecclesice.com and follow the Malou Foundation auction link to create an account allowing you to bid on all items. The Spice on Ice fundraiser auction will start Thursday, March 25th at 10 a.m. and finish Saturday, March 27th at 6 p.m. You must go to ecclesice.com and follow the Malou Foundation auction link to create an account allowing you to bid on all items. For questions, concerns, or if you need help joining the auction, please call 787-2288, extension 222.
Call in all golfers. Birch Creek's punch passes are on sale at the spring sale price. Visit birchcreekgolf.com and purchase online or stop by the pro shop today. Birch Creek's punch passes never expire and are valid 7 days a week. So if you love golf, I invite you to visit Birch Creek today or go online at birchcreekgolf.com and purchase your discount punch pass. That's Birch Creek Golf Course in Smithfield.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. The health insurance marketplace has reopened February 15th through May 15th. This special enrollment period is available to everyone. If you have been adversely affected by COVID, lost coverage, need to make a change, or simply want to enroll, now is the time and we can help. Tax credits are available if you qualify. Call 752-9493 to schedule an appointment face-to-face or virtually. Call 752-9493 for help with your health insurance needs.
The new home for the Full Court Press. Weekday afternoons from 4 to 6 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, 106.9thefan.com, and streaming on our 106.9 The Fan mobile app. Hey, we're talking a lot of local sports this week. We're gonna hit on some water polo, one of my favorite sports. I was an All-American in water polo for 3 years, and so I'm excited to talk some water polo later this week. Lacrosse, I was a all-region lacrosse player for 3 years.
What? There was no such thing back
yes,
then.
There was. How would you know?
There is now. It's a sanctioned sport.
I was an all-region player.
You were running around in those little gold suits saying Quidditch is a sanctioned sport.
You know what I'm going to be
it
for
doesn't
Halloween?
Work that
is
way.
I'm going to be the snitch for Halloween, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't care how inappropriate it might look. Hey, joining us here, speaking of local sports, the Logan Stampede are getting their football season underway next Saturday night. And joining us here on the Full Court Press is Terrence Poole, who's the head coach, GM, and offense coordinator, and Will Drake, who kind of oversees all the operation. He's like the Robert Kraft of this dynasty, so-called, the Logan Stampede. Gentlemen, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get to it. Willow, to see where the Stampede started when they were first born to where they are now, can you talk about the transition, maybe both in fan base support and in the team as well?
So from 2007 to now, or just from when I took over?
Yes. I guess, okay, so let's go 2007 to now.
So 2007, they were really popular. The Stampede were very well known because the team put in the footwork, and they won the championship their second year. It was the idea of Dave Curtis and his friends to get a local sports team going, and they joined the Rocky Mountain Football League, and they had cheerleaders at their home games even. It was completely different. And they had halftime shows, and we would have games at Utah State even. And
that's pretty cool.
But after the championship, 2 years after that, it just kind of died down to the same guys and no recruiting. And then I took back over about 4 years ago. You would go to a home game, there'd be like 50 people there. And I have been busting my butt to get it to be more of a known family event again. And you'll see plenty of people at my home games, but I'm still trying to get more.
You can always take more.
Yes,
take more.
Yes, it's hard to get people out there.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys is you mentioned recruiting. This is different style of recruiting, I would imagine, than what some may think with how a college might recruit a high school athlete. But this is, I guess, a general question about the team makeup. These are guys that played at some level, high school, maybe college, maybe some went on and played professionally. But when you're done with those, I guess, official, quote unquote, official sanctioned activities, if guys still want to play the game, it's not like you can just grab a ball and run down to your park and there's going to be a bunch of dudes hanging around ready to play. It's just a sport that's very different from basketball or golf or tennis or pickleball. You require a lot of guys to be able to get together to even play the game. So, I guess first of all, what is it like trying to put a team together? And then, like, where do these guys come from? Where do you get them? How do you assemble a team?
A lot of kissing butt. Because when I took over 4 years ago, and we only had 14 guys. the entire Stampede roster they all retired. And I had 14 guys, and it was a very unsuccessful season. We didn't score but once. And I went out to all the events. I met all the owners from all the different teams and got myself inserted into conversations with other players to network, to find people. And I pride myself on word of mouth because I offered a different environment. And that was the bulk of my recruiting, is just word of mouth and meeting people, getting the right people here. But I would also invite the wrong people. And it wasn't a very conducive environment for a championship team. Like last year on paper, we should have been the best team. Even the year before that, we should have been unstoppable. But I was focusing on size and skill and all these different things instead of teaching the guys how to play together. So it's exciting this year because I have Terrence to help me out, and we're going to do a lot of exciting things.
So sorry, Ajay, if I could. Go. Terrence, let me ask you just about the makeup of this team. Like, I know it's a larger roster. I'm not asking you to name everybody on your roster, but just how it is working with the different types of people that are part of this roster. Maybe an age range of different people and backgrounds that make up your team.
Yeah, I mean it's wild that you bring that up because the diversity is something at this level that we get a lot of. I mean, I've got a 47-year-old player. I used to have a 63-year-old player.
Stop it.
Wow. And then I have a kid that's fresh out of high school, and so we have them every age.
What did the 63-year-old play? Like, what position?
He was a lineman, and it was funny because he's a giant lineman. He played Utah State. He played all over, and he's been playing football his whole life. And my first year, I'm down in Salt Lake, and it's where all the league comes together, and it's a kind of a jamboree style.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the owners of the other team, he's like, "Hey, Willow, come over here. I want to talk to you." He's like, "That number 7 is not good." I'm like, "He's 62 years old." He goes, "I stand corrected." Because it took him like 45 minutes just to get his pads on, but he showed up.
That's amazing.
That is incredible. So you mentioned some of them have a pretty diverse background. Some high school, they played high school, some college level. Any beyond that?
Yeah. So we've got some guys on the roster that were in some NFL camps. We've got some Division I guys, and then obviously some high school standouts and stuff that just didn't quite cut at the JUCO level or Division 2 or 3 or whatever. And they come in and they're looking for that next level experience, and that's something that we've really put a focus on this year is the product that we deliver our players. And with that, though, you've got standout athletes that played perhaps lacrosse. We've got a couple of dudes that were Division I lacrosse standouts that have come in, first-year football players and super coachable, and I think they're going to make a big difference just from an athletic standpoint. And we've got, that Polynesian Tongan connection with the rugby stuff, and we've got some stud rugby dudes been playing some rugby, and they're coming in, and again, they're just adding a ton of athleticism to what we've got, and an atmosphere of competition that is really, it's a fun atmosphere this year, and we're super excited. We're trying to drive as much energy to our home games as we can. We've got in the Eastern Division of the ICFL, Idaho Contact Football League, which is the league we belong to. The Eastern Conference has 3 of the top 5 teams, and we're hoping to make it 4 this year, counting ourselves. And so, yeah, we're excited. I mean, we're super excited. We've been able to create an atmosphere where guys are like, "Hey, man, I've got my brother. He's off season from JUCO over here. He wants to keep playing," and they bring him in, and if they fit our atmosphere and our culture, then we find him a jersey.
What kind of offense can we expect to see from you guys this year?
We're hoping to put up a lot of points. We run a non-traditional RPO, so it'll look RPO, but I put some of my own personal twists on it.
Good.
We've got as good a backfield from an athletic standpoint as anybody in our league. And our wide receiver crew, we've got a dozen of them, and every one of them runs a clean route and catches the ball in space and can do something with it after they catch it. And so we expect to be able to put a lot of points up just with a 1-2 punch on the RPO. And our quarterback is a converted safety, Liddell Jackson. He went to Utah State, played defensive back over there for them. And he's my pet project, and he's looking really good so far.
That's awesome. Willow, let me ask you. You guys were talking about home games, and it's a Logan Stampede. So where can people come check you guys out if they want to go watch a game? Where do we go? Where do you play?
We're going to be playing at Ridgeline High School this year. The first game is at 5 p.m., and we're going to have Lashar's Dance Studio come perform halftime. And it's not this week. Not first game. They're on Easter break. The first game they're on Easter break. So the next home game they'll be performing halftime shows. And the one thing that I'm really excited about is the home games is I'm gonna be trying to insert a level of energy because I'm removing myself from a coaching position and I'm going to be up in the booth. And that's one thing that I realize is a strong strength of mine is energy, getting people like excited. And that's one thing that we noticed that we never had at any of our games. Yes, this is another Stampede first down. Okay. And it's just like, who wants to play? It's like boring, right? It's boring. And you have a good announcer up there in the booth that can get the crowds excited and get the home team excited. You can turn the tide.
We get Eric on the field at halftime. You can get some excitement out of that.
I was going to say, if didn't I hear a rumor that Ajay once was supposed to go?
No,
you bring a level of excitement to the PA.
Eric held me back.
He promised me.
Eric
he
didn't
stood
want me
me
to
up.
see
He
me
ghosted
succeed.
me. I was set to have that energy.
I may have ghosted
Had
him.
to bring it up.
Eric held me back.
I didn't.
He did not want to see
not
me
drag
he
you
left
into
me
this.
on red. I saw it. He looked at it. He's like, shoot. And then that was it.
I feel so bad. I'll come. I promise. I'm going to come to the games this year. I'm excited. And then, by the way, when I go to a game, I usually I do come see the talent and the entertainment, but I like the food.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. We've got a local food truck by Ria Diaz. They've got a spot right here in downtown.
That's northernutah.com. I don't know if they've been voted, but
I'm telling you, I think somebody did actually the other day. We're excited. They've partnered up with us. If you buy season passes, they'll hook you up both at their food truck down here in town and at the game. They're going to be actually the ones that are our vendor. And likewise, you're going to get all kinds of perks to having season passes versus just paying at the gate. So
that's cool.
What does it cost to go see a game?
So adults at the gate, adults are $5, 12 and under are $250. And 6 and under are free. We've got season
really
passes.
Reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, in season passes, we're $50 for a family of 5. That's 4 games. If you were to add that up, you basically get it for half price. And the same thing, we're $15 for an individual pass. That gives you basically 1 free game. Plus, you get the perks that come with it. So you're getting
cool.
Yeah. So you're getting a ton of discounts to all the games, home games, and then you're getting a ton of discounts with local companies like Straight Up Oil and Brakes over in Garland. They're giving you 15% off during the regular season if you have a season pass. I mean, this day and age with the price of petrol, you gotta think about that. That kind of stuff adds up a season long.
Yeah,
what about your guys' social media? I know you guys are probably big into social media. How can people find your social media? Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is.
Yeah, so we're on both Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, we are Logan Stampede Football and Cheer. Go like us, give it the blue check. We appreciate that. And then follow us there. We're always doing fun stuff, player profiles, things like that. And then over on Instagram at @_Logan_Stampede. Same thing. We're always doing giveaways over on Instagram and stuff too. By Ria Diaz, Mario, who is actually one of our players, is the owner of that. Him and his wife help us a bunch over there, and they're always doing giveaways.
Is that the best place to find your schedule, like who you're playing and when you're playing and stuff like that, or is that?
Yeah. So we'll have the schedule posted in both places there. And this early in the season, with schools just kind of opening up and allowing us to actually play there and things like that, we're like Willow had mentioned, we're looking at Ridgeline High School as our home. We're hoping to make that a permanent partner. But with scheduling things and that, we hate to post it out too early until I have some definitives on their schedule. So
first home game is when?
First home game is April 3rd, so a week from Saturday. We play the Montana Monsters. They had a really good preseason matchup with another Montana team. And so we're hoping they come down and give us a fight and make it a worthwhile game.
Awesome.
Willow, the league affiliation has changed over time. So the teams that you will face this year, like where are they from? Where are they located? Just kind of roughly.
It's mainly based out of Idaho. It's the ICFL. The ICFL used to be the Boise, Idaho Football League. It's been changed so many times, and I got invited to join them last year. And so the teams range from Montana to Idaho Falls to Boise. We're the furthest south team. We're the only Utah team that's in the ICFL.
Hey, guys, great stuff. Thank you so much for your time. That's Terrence Pulse, Will Drake, part of the Logan Stampede. First game, April 3rd, 5 p.m., I believe. Will Drake will be on the mic, and Terrence Poole will be on the sideline taking care of the offense. Looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, good luck this year, guys.
All right, more of the Full Court Press coming up here on 106.9 FM, 1390.
Hi, this is John Horton, General Manager at ARS. COVID-19 is a mess, but it doesn't have to be. We at ARS recognize your desire to take the best care of your workspace and home in order to protect your family, staff, and other building occupants. We have certified technicians that use leading industry processes, state-of-the-art equipment and technology, and cutting-edge products when disinfecting. We understand your needs and are ready to help. Remember, got a mess? Call ARS.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Utah Army National Guard, aired by the Utah Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now is the time to visit with the professionals at Great Basin Graphics for the perfect t-shirt or new clothing design for spring. T-shirts and employee clothing continue to be a favorite and a great way to advertise your business while on the move. With the best screen printer in town, along with the equipment and knowledge to create custom clothing at great prices, Great Basin Graphics is sure to make you look. Great Basin Graphics will design, screen print, and embroider everything and anything. Google Great Basin Graphics or visit their new location at 966 West 400 North.
Great Basin Graphics. We made you look, made you look.
Westwood One is your exclusive home for the 2021 NCAA Tournament. It's only fitting that a season unlike any other comes to a conclusion in the most unique circumstances. From 68 teams down to one, all in the same state. Every basket, buzzer beater, and bracket buster until a champion is crowned. Who will take home the title? Tune in to find out. All the excitement of March Madness right here
on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Drivers, start your engines. The Honda Dream Garage Spring Event, where every vehicle is inspired by Honda's racing spirit, is on now. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get 0% APR on the 2021 Honda Pilot, Passport, or redesigned Ridgeline.
Visit your Utah Honda dealers or utahhondadealers.com.
See dealer for financing details.
The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen. That was fun.
Yeah,
those guys.
9948 texted into the show. If you want a lot of energy at Ridgeline, you will need a new PA system. The speakers are horrible.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we got to fix that.
Willow will just have to yell really loud.
Can you imagine? He's down at the 43, first and 10. Just saying.
I'm disappointed that you ghosted them.
Okay, I did not. Okay, I kind of did ghost him. I forgot. I'm a very busy guy. Okay,
what it was?
and then when I went to you, I said, "Hey, Eric, I need to go do." No, you have a show. You have a contract. That doesn't include the Logan Stampede on that contract.
We don't have shows on Saturday afternoons.
You wanted me to
watch. Like I said before, you cannot drag me into this.
You wanted me to watch some other games on Saturday.
Hey, another from the Guild Mortgage text line. This one coming in from 3426 to a conversation we had before our interview with the Logan Stampede. If you want to win next year, you need a center and a 6'7" athlete, not just a guard or a forward, an actual go-get-you-a-bucket athlete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Craig's not going to go find a guy who's going to be here for 1 year. He's going to go after a guy who is going to be around for a couple of years. Not a one-and-done guy. That's kind of a waste. You need a guy who's going to be around for at least a couple of years.
Maybe that's something that they or type of person they're looking for in the transfer portal.
Yep, and that transfer portal is getting very busy already. Very busy.
Excuse me. Bless me.
Okay.
Sneezed.
Good for you.
All right, another quick timeout here in the Full Court Press. When we come back, very busy free agency in the NFL and trade deadline in the NBA. A lot of player movement in the last about week or so between the two professional leagues. So we'll start to preview that. We'll get into it more next hour. But will the Utah Jazz make a move? They do play tonight. Should they make a move? We'll talk about that next in the Full Court Press.
Girls, insist he take you to Jarek's. Picking out your wedding ring is an experience you will never forget. Come to a place where the mood is right and the setting is perfect for romance. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan. The perfect collection of memorable designs, classic creation, and modern marvels. If you want an intimate, romantic experience you will never forget, then insist he takes you to Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's at 930 North Main in Logan.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
Does anybody want breakfast? Guys, let's go. I'm leaving for McDonald's in 5 seconds. Why didn't you start with that?
The Breakfast Stampede meal. It's only at McDonald's, where there's a meal for every morning.
Get the delicious hot and spicy McChicken biscuit and chicken McGriddles, 2 for $3. Thirsty? Get any size Coke for just $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal. Single item at regular price.
At Valley Office Systems, we want you seeing green with the savings we can offer you for your office equipment, furniture, and supply needs. Our goal in 2021 is to continue to offer the best products and value at even better prices. Valley Office Systems, a service company above all else.
You see them everywhere. You may own one. In fact, you may be wearing one right now. A t-shirt printed by The Logo Shop. The Logo Shop's been around 30 years and printed over 1 million shirts. Have them custom print your shirts. For businesses, teams, clubs, groups, family reunions, The Logo Shop screen prints t-shirts, custom embroiders golf shirts and outerwear. The Logo Shop can put your logo on anything, from pens and water bottles to travel bags and coolers. See more at WeLogoStuff.com.
The Logo Shop. The Logo Stuff. The Logo Shop.
The Aggies, the Jazz, the high schools, the Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Don't forget to vote on the best of Northern Utah. Who's the best at what they do? Let your voice be heard. Cast your vote. You can cast up to 10 votes every day in 10 different categories at bestofnorthernutah.com, presented by Thermo Fisher, where they are hiring. Voting continues through March 29th. bestofnorthernutah.com. Ajay, trade deadline for the NBA coming up is tomorrow is the deadline. 2 questions.
Okay.
Should the Jazz make a move? Will they make a move?
Should they? Yes. Will they? No.
Why should they?
They need. Bogey sucks right now. Bogey is shooting. I don't know whose percentage is worse, Brock Miller or Bogey's, but it's pretty close.
He's definitely in a slump.
Yes.
To say the least.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, and so they need somebody who can shoot and score. Like when Bogey's not playing well, somebody can come off the bench and be that productive, a little bit more productive.
Isn't that Ersan Ilyasova?
Oh, don't.
Isn't he going to be that guy?
Don't, Eric.
I mean, he's
don't
Bogey light.
Stop it, Eric. You do this all the time to me just to try to rile me up. I ain't falling for it. Stop it.
Why? No. As hot as Joe Ingles is, does it matter?
Yes, it does. Bogey needs to be good too, or else they aren't going to win a lot of games. They need Bogey to be just as good as Joe is. When they're both good, they're an unbeatable team. But the problem is when one of them's only good, the Lakers could beat them, the Suns could beat them. There's some good teams that could beat them.
Bojan Bogdanović for Tony Bradley.
I hate you so bad right now.
He's playing starter minutes.
No!
Philadelphia.
Stop it!
They're really happy about it.
Decoy.
He has value.
He has value. So does your 7 Royce O'Neals.
Yeah. Bogey will be back. I don't think the Jazz will make a move. I don't think they need to really make anything significant. We'll see what else, how it changes the landscape of the NBA, especially for any Western Conference teams.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The NBA has one of the best trade deadlines in sports. Not necessarily because anything's going to happen, but it's a great excuse to talk about the state of the league. If you're a team like the 76ers or the Heat, you have to make a serious assessment of where you stand before Thursday's 3 p.m. Eastern deadline. Are you one move away from competing for the title? Are you behind the Lakers and Nets? And speaking of which, what kind of shape are the Lakers and Nets in? When will Durant be back? When will Anthony Davis be back? And the question always seems to be, what's going on with Kyrie? We've seen big deals at the trade deadline. Guys like Pau Gasol and Rasheed Wallace were traded around this time and eventually helped their teams win titles. I'm not sure that's going to happen with players like Kyle Lowry and Aaron Gordon. Still a great time to gear up and get excited for the rest of the regular season in the NBA and these trades that could impact the postseason. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Next time you tee it up, grab the Callaway golf ball that tour players like John Rahm and Xander Schauffele play. It's Chrome Soft. There's Chrome Soft with soft feel, great distance, short game control, and Callaway's most popular tour ball, Chrome Soft X, with workability, amazing green side action. You've got options. Now with the new Chrome Soft XLS, Callaway's low-spinning tour ball that delivers max distance off the tee. Chrome Soft isn't just better, it's better for everyone. Find your Chrome Soft at CallawayGolf.com/Chrome Soft. I recently had a chance to go outside and give my truck some much-needed TLC, so I grabbed Meguiar's new bright orange bottle, the hybrid ceramic wash and wax. Couldn't wait to try it. Has a unique 2-liquid system that not only gently cleans the paint, but leaves behind their hybrid ceramic wax protection with instant water-beating action. Now my truck looks good. It is dope. It's protected. Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wash and wax with advanced SiO2 technology. Meguiar's ceramic.
Calling all golfers, Birch Creek's punch passes are on sale at the spring sale price. Visit birchcreekgolf.com and purchase online or stop by the pro shop today. Birch Creek's punch passes never expire and are valid 7 days a week. So if you love golf, I invite you to visit Birch Creek today or go online at birchcreekgolf.com and purchase your discount punch pass. That's Birch Creek Golf Course in Smithfield.
This is Larry at Larry's Pharmacies. Are you struggling with all your medicine? Did you take this morning's dose or not? We at Larry's Pharmacy have the perfect solution. Let us help you organize your meds so that you take it exactly as your doctor prescribed for the most benefit. Just punch out the meds from the organized packets at the clearly labeled time and you're done. This is a free service and a big help for those on many meds or who struggle to open and close bottles. We also offer free delivery service. Stay well.
The home for Sports Talk Radio. KLGN Logan. 106.9 FM. 1390 AM. The Fan.
We are Fox Sports. And here's Here's what you need to know.
The Colts will reportedly welcome back its long-tenured wideout T.Y. Hilton on a pristine one-year, $10 million deal. $8 million of that is guaranteed. Free agent pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney schmoozed with the Browns today as he looks for a new team. In the NBA, Rockets' Victor Oladipo will not participate in Houston's game tonight against the Hornets for personal reasons. Cavs' Colin Sexton is tending to a hamstring problem and will miss this evening's contest versus the Bulls. Pro golf pivoting to the Dell Match Play event. Dustin Johnson taking out Adam Long 2-up. Ian Poulter with 5 straight birdies on the back nine, beating Rory McIlroy 6-5, and Jordan Spieth advances past Matt Fitzpatrick 3-1. The NCAA tournament on the women's side playing out second-round games, and the 2-seed Louisville is up 60-53 against 7-seeded Northwestern. Under 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. I'm Brian Fenley.
The Aggies, the Jazz, the high schools. If it's the sport you care about, we're talking about it. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen here on the Full Court Press.
Hey, I heard our intro still in the works. I've been updated. We're still a little bit of ways.
Oh, well, as long as it's in the works, that's hopefully that means there's progress being made.
Yeah, progress is a big word, though. Yeah, not
as big as some other words you've tried to say.
What do you mean? Words that I've accomplished? Yeah, they're realistic words.
Like that award that we would try to give out on Mondays for the high school player that did well.
Okay, no, don't.
The football game.
Don't
on
bring
Fridays.
up past mistakes. Okay, you know how much the company doesn't dwell on past mistakes here. All right, and I didn't even say it. What?
It's true, you didn't say it.
No,
I think that's part of the whole point.
What I meant was sometimes you do it on purpose, and that's what I did. I did it on purpose.
Is that what it was?
Yes, I did it on purpose, and you're welcome. Okay, because our ratings skyrocketed after that. You're absolutely welcome. Good stuff from Logan Stampede. You need to go to a game this year, Eric. Go watch him play.
Yeah, I need to. I do.
Go support him. I think you have to pay. I get it for free, but I think you have to pay.
You're one of those guys where my face is my passport. It's my ticket.
Do you ever give him the old, hey, do you know who I am around the valley?
Pull the Patrick Ewing.
Dude, that poor guy. Hey, I was going to say this. Earlier today, Fred Durst, who's a big fan of our show, big fan of me, of course.
Well, just a big fan of you. That's good.
Stopped by today. We've been talking, I think a couple weeks ago we talked about it. What, top 5 athletes, maybe out of each school, out of the Valley, out of Utah State basketball, so on and so forth.
Right, we had kind of a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Right.
And he came in and explained some things to me. Said that his brother was pretty darn good. George Durst, back in the day, 1984, helped lead Logan to a championship. We really need to think about it, Eric. Maybe going through a Mount Rushmore of like Logan, Skyview, and Mountain Crest. Can't do Ridgeline, can't do Green Canyon for obvious reasons.
There's not a lot of history there.
I mean, I would probably end up being on the Mount Rushmore as a freshman coach. But, yeah, can't really do it that way. So, anyways, we had to kind of we need to do one for football, definitely, because it's coming up. A Mount Rushmore of Utah State football.
Generally speaking, or by position?
That's the question. Or do you just do one offensive side and one defensive side? Right? So Emmett White's on there.
We're carving a lot of faces on the mountains around here. So many Mount Rushmores.
Tony Adams is probably on there.
Anthony Calvillo?
Yeah, would be on there. And this is just for offense. Savon Scarver, yes or no?
Probably no.
All-American kick returner?
I know.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a receiver that I put on. Kevin Curtis?
Oh, he was good.
And Chris Cooley.
Chris Cooley was a great tight end.
So that's 4 on offense. And then defensively,
Merlin Olsen.
Merlin Olsen would be on there. I'm trying to think of a good defensive back in the day.
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner would be on there. I'm thinking like, okay. Oh, you know who? Well, he was a running back. Never mind. I'm trying to think of a great defensive back, and none of them come down. Steve Smith, who is the MVP of the Aggies for the 97
Humanitarian Bowl?
Yeah, when they lost to Cincinnati. I don't know, maybe him. I can't think of a great defensive back in Utah State Aggie football history. Have we ever had one?
Oh, yeah. What about
who?
Will Davis? He had a lot of takeaways. Drafted by the Miami Dolphins.
What about Jalen
Nevin
Davis?
Lawson?
Nevin
Another
Lawson?
great one.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly my memory is more in the more recent players.
Oh, we got to go. So 3426 says Nevin Lawson. 5338 says Roland Jones. How do we forget Roland Jones?
Oh, yeah, great player.
All right.
Played with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Part of that mean defensive line. Roland, yeah, that's a good one. I didn't think about him. John Newbold, Nevin Lawson, Will Davis, Cornell Green. Who's Cornell Green?
Oh, yeah, Cornell Green.
Who is he?
He was a good player.
When? Well, like, when did he play? Like, I honestly don't. This is sad, but I don't even know.
His time frame.
But you know what?
Let's go a little bit further back.
And see, that's the thing is that, I mean, like the 92 team, they had to have some good defensive players on there. 2012 had to be loaded with some talent. 97 had to be loaded with some talent. Like, offense would be harder to do than defense. Because offense, there's a ton of choices that we've left out who were really good.
Oh, Newbold, 60s.
Oh,
played in the 60s and went to the Cowboys.
Okay. That Cowboys team was no staunch either. They were awesome. All right. Yeah, fair enough. I like it. Anyways, we'll have to work on that. Maybe.
Yeah, we're just spitballing here. But
yeah. I mean, we don't know.
This is not an official take.
Yeah, yeah.
These are under consideration.
Yeah, there you go. Under consideration. So Bobby Wagner would make the list, though, huh?
He would be under consideration.
You wouldn't put him as a for sure, though? I mean, because you guys think he's the greatest football player in Utah State football history. You
guys, what does that mean?
You
guys.
Johnny, you, right? Russell, he thinks Bobby Wagner is greater than freaking Merlin Olsen.
I don't know about that. I've never claimed that. I'm not sure
Russell
I've heard anyone ever claim that either. But, look at Bobby Wagner compared to Nick Vigil or Zach Vigil. Be interesting to compare them. Certainly Bobby Wagner was part of a sea tide change with the culture at Utah State. And perhaps that's why he stands out pretty significantly for a lot of people. And just he's had a long, very successful career in the NFL.
Yeah, but we're
best
talking
linebacker in the NFL.
No.
Time and again.
No. He was very much helped by a very great defense around him that made him look good.
Really?
But
look at his
Legion of Boom.
tackles.
Are you serious? Legion of Boom wasn't
look at all
that
his
good?
tackles. Look at those Pro Bowl selections.
Oh, geez.
Super Bowl rings.
The Pro Bowl, my heck. Listen, but we're not talking about NFL careers. We're talking strictly Utah State.
Yes, that's true.
Robbie Watts?
And that's an important thing because I think when people are considering, collegiate players, sometimes we get clouded by what they did professionally or what they didn't do professionally.
Sure.
Like Will Davis really isn't doing a heck of a whole lot in the NFL right now.
But he was great in
college. He was a ball hawk.
Yeah.
When he played for the Aggies.
Hey, someone had asked me, and I can't really say who on the air, but someone who had listened to our show had asked me the question of, who would your Mount Rushmore be of the 5 Aggie basketball players coming off the bench?
Oh, my gosh.
Could you imagine?
Seriously?
Could you imagine the problem that would be? 6789, text into the Guild Mortgage text line. B-Wag's college career was a big deal. Full stop. See, and I remember hearing a lot about Bobby Wagner when he was playing for Utah State. Like, when you needed a big-time play, defensively, Bobby Wagner was your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently.
He had an amazing nose for where the ball was headed, and then he always found himself there.
So, do we leave off Robert Turbin as a consideration for the Mount Rushmore on offense? Or Kerwin Williams?
I don't know that you leave him off. I think you could consider him, sure.
Do you consider Kerwin Williams, right? Kerwin Williams?
Yeah. Kerwinning. I'd put Turbin ahead of Kerwin Williams.
Dominic Eberle.
Oh, man.
Dude, he set some records, and he was consistently good. I mean, our kicker sucked for how many years? And cost us how many games?
You put a kicker on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, dude, come on. You came up with a nickname for the guy. He set an NCAA record. He set how many NCAA records in one game? Not alone. And by the way, no one scored more points in their career, in Utah State history career, until Dominic Eberle beat Robert Turbin in points scored in a career. Come on. The kicker, now leads Utah State football history in points in a career. 9948, Kevin Curtis. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Was Kevin that good in his career at Utah State? Or was he just the only receiver that was thrown to over and over again? Because there was nobody else to throw to.
There's a little bit of that. But that guy had wheels, though.
Yeah, he was a monster.
He was a burner.
I remember, I think it was the New Mexico game. I remember the story. Al told this story, and I'll never forget it. But I think it was versus New Mexico. And, New Mexico, he was just beating defenders over the top routes where they were just grabbing his jersey, and they freaking kept pulling it to slow him down. So then Mike Bear grabs some duct tape and tapes the inside of his jersey to his pads. So then, the players can't grab his jersey anymore. And he was just off to the races.
That's great.
9948, and give Chucky some love. Or sorry, Nick 6789 says, give Chucky some love. That season opener against Auburn was a true freshman, was friggin' beacon of light. I agree.
That was incredible.
I agree. Kevin Curtis was good for the Eagles. Definitely was. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I forgot he played for Philadelphia.
Until he got hurt and he got cancer. And that really
I didn't know he got cancer.
Derailed his career. Yeah. He tried to come back. He tried to make a comeback. It just never.
And that's another guy we're leaving off is Chucky Keaton. Consideration.
Yeah,
I mean,
good quarterback, but look, Heupel, not Heupel, Hipple.
No, Josh Heupel. You're right.
No, he played for the Aggies and he went to play for Detroit.
Man,
Hipple.
I about said Joey Harrington. No.
Then you got
9948 says
Calvillo.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is because Anthony Calvillo won a bowl game, right? 92, Nevada against Nevada. Was that a bowl game they won that year? The Las Vegas Bowl. Was he the quarterback? I think he was. So yeah, what separates Chucky from Anthony Calvillo? Because Chucky did some great things. I mean, that Auburn game still sticks out to me. Probably should have won it, but that's another story.
9948, Emmett White.
Absolutely.
Oh, my word.
Top of my list.
Yes.
That is
that game where he was returning kickoffs and punts and running the ball and receiving. I mean, the guy was doing everything.
Yeah.
No, I've ever seen a performance like that.
Emmett White and Merlin Olsen as guarantees on my Mount Rushmore for the offensive side of the ball.
His all-purpose yards, I have to go back and remember which game that was, but it was insane.
I watched him once in person. It was ridiculous. 3426. If you're talking just running backs at Utah State, Robert Turbin definitely on the Mount Rushmore. You didn't even have to second guess he was an NFL running back. If it was just running backs, I would put Robert Turbin on there. If it's an all-offensive Mount Rushmore of four guys, Robert Turbin's on consideration, but man, I've got two spots left because White and Olsen get... I guess Merlin was a defensive side.
He was a defensive guy, yeah. Merlin
okay,
Olsen
so
was
I've got Emmett White as a for sure. Everybody else is a consideration. I'm not even guaranteeing putting Anthony Calvillo on there because I'd almost stick Chucky above Anthony Calvillo.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, do we have any other great quarterbacks besides, Jordan Love obviously was great, but Jordan Love was only around, he only played for 2 years. In the second year, he wasn't that good. He struggled. So I'm trying to think of other great Utah State quarterbacks. Travis Cox was bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yes, he was.
Eric Hipple was. You have to consider Eric Hipple.
Who was Eric Hipple? I don't know who the heck we're talking about.
Yeah, he played for the Detroit Lions for a lot of years. 10 years in the NFL.
John Newbold says Abu Wilson, who's a running back. Actually, Abu was really good. I didn't think about that. Abu would have been awesome as a selection. But I'm still taking him at White. That's tough to say otherwise. 9948 Jeff Crosby. I forgot about Jeff Crosby. I forgot about him. I think it was Travis Cox who I went to a Utah State game and they were like 49-0. Jeff Crosby would be a good one. 5338. I would recommend staying out of your backyard pool when I'm teeing off. Sign Rory McIlroy. God bless you. 9948. Jeff Crosby, Eric. Would he be in consideration as a quarterback?
He was a quarterback, but on Mount Rushmore...
No way, right?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. No. We got to go to the phone lines here.
Let's do it.
Which is always good to get the Aggie fans who can bring us back to...
Educate us a little bit.
Remind us of some of the great players of yesteryear. What are some of the players maybe we're leaving off here?
Okay. Louis Giamona.
Ooh, yes.
Probably the greatest running back in the history of Utah State. Alfie Taylor went on to play good career for the Lions. MacArthur Lane.
Oh, yes, the Lane.
Went on to play for the Packers. Roy Shivers played in the NFL for St. Louis.
Yeah, those are great names.
You wanted a DB. Patrick Allen was a great one, played for Houston. Bob Wilkes was a very good DB.
Huh. I gotta be honest, like, out of the 6 guys he mentioned, I think I know one of them. But that, again, there's recency bias on my
Ajay,
part.
You need to do your...
Well, you guys...
Get your Aggie history going there,
Stop
Ajay.
it, Eric.
Those are some great names.
Hey, who was the Lane guy you mentioned?
MacArthur
Lane. And where did he play at after Utah State?
Where did he play after?
Sorry. Yeah, did he go to the NFL after, or did he just play at Utah State?
Yeah, played for the Packers.
Oh, jeez, that's not too shabby.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
played professionally for 11 seasons. Yeah.
Eric Hipple was also a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
Played the Lions.
When did he play?
I'd have.
I can't remember when he played.
I think it was in the 70s.
Okay, so it was a while ago. Okay. All right. I need to get like Doug.
Wasn't so long ago, Ajay.
I need to get Doug Hoffman. I gotta go pick his brain on some of this stuff and ask.
I think your quarterback for this thing would be touchdown Tony Adams.
See, I'm right about Tony. I knew it. Would you put Anthony Cavill on the list?
Oh. Well, if you only include playing for the Aggies, I'd put him pretty close, but he's the greatest quarterback ever in the CFL.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. It's a good point.
And set records as a professional quarterback that no one else is going to touch.
Yeah. So, depends on if you're talking just Aggie career. I'd put him second or third all time for the Aggies.
Yeah, Eric Hipple played 1976 to 1979 as a starter for Utah State.
Wow.
Calvillo was 92 and 93 seasons.
Wow. Okay. Hey, well, thank you for the phone call. Greatly appreciate it. Good to hear your voice, and appreciate you listening to our show.
Yeah, anytime I can help you, let me know.
It's good.
I need a lot of it, so that's good stuff.
That's
hey,
awesome.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thank you. Great phone call. If you want to call in, 435-752-1069. Got a lot of texts coming in, too. 9948 says, you might not have four heads on Rushmore if you solely went with quarterbacks at Utah State. 5338 text in. Of course, there's makeup calls in sports. It's the referee's job to keep everything as even as possible. Signed, Tim Pill. Did you see that? The hockey game? The Nashville?
I heard there was some controversy in hockey with the referee,
dude,
but
he's mic'd up, and he says, I can't remember how he put it, but that he needed to call purposely a foul on Nashville. Like, he was mic'd up, and he said that.
Oh, gosh.
And he says, well, you're done.
Terrible.
Yeah. So, anyways, good text 5338. Great stuff from the Gil Mortgage text line. Appreciate you all joining in. We'll have to piece that together, do some research, and I need to go ask some questions and maybe sit down with the guy who just called us and say, hey, pick my brain a little bit and help me out. That's good stuff. We'll have to dive into that a little bit further as we get closer to fall football season. Spring practice for Utah State already underway, which is crazy enough. So
5338 texts in, I would recommend staying out of your backyard pool when I'm teeing off.
Yeah.
Signed, Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good stuff. Good old Rory. It's been interesting looking at this Mount Rushmore of four Aggies for football. Again, their history probably isn't as prestigious as basketball is, but I think there's just individual performances or individuals out there who had a shining season, and that's probably why we'd stick them on there, to be honest with you.
Helps when I have my phone or my mic on. More from the phone lines. Johnny wants to weigh in about former Aggie quarterbacks.
Johnny!
I would just say Kent Myers did not get the respect that he deserved.
Kent Myers. Oh, okay. Can I ask for you to vouch for Kent Myers? What would you say?
I just feel like he was one of the more dependable quarterbacks we had, never got us in much trouble, was underrated at his time here at USU.
Is he the one, and forgive me because my memory is just so bad these days, but he was one where Jordan Love was sitting behind him, right? And then did they make the changes? Is that him?
Yep, that's him.
Yes.
Yeah. As a quote-unquote seasoned quarterback with years under his belt, got benched in favor of Jordan Love. So, but he did set at the time when he came in as a young quarterback. I remember one of his early games, was it against Wyoming? Like, he did not miss a pass. I guess Johnny's done. But he early on, when he got kind of inserted into the starting lineup, they ran the offense to his strengths, and it was impressive to see what they did. But to say he was underrated and put him up there,
I can't do it. He doesn't have a valid enough resume. I appreciate him being considered.
Yeah,
but he was never consistent.
As a upperclassman, he got benched in favor of a young Jordan Love. So certainly that speaks to Jordan's talents and abilities. We know he was first rounder in the NFL. Had a great career at Utah State. But put Kent Myers on the list. Sorry, that's a stretch for me.
Yeah, I'm not totally sold on Kent. I'd put Chucky above Kent. Tony Adams. Yeah. Dude, we still need to talk about Dominic Eberle. We leaving that guy off?
Boy, that's...
Because if you do, shame on you.
He's a valuable player. There's no question. He was a weapon.
Dude, our kickers cost us how many games for how many years?
That's true.
Dominic comes in and he does great in it. I mean, he helps win us games.
You keep mispronouncing his name. It's dominant.
No, it was dominant, and now it is Dominic.
Dominant.
It was.
Again, this is all under consideration.
Yeah, we have not officially posted our
I'm
list.
not posting my flag on this hill and living and dying by it just yet. But some great suggestions. Great phone calls, too.
Well, you know what? You better start putting together your flag then, because when we get closer to football season, this crap is happening. We're making it happen, Captain. We are doing a Mount Rushmore on offense and defense. Like, if you did a holder of the year, would Matt Wells be on it?
Holder of the year?
DJ Nielsen? That's brutal. I can't believe I just said that.
Attack punts. Who's on the Mount Rushmore for attack punts on third down?
Riley Jensen?
It's Riley Jensen's face multiple times. Along with Coach Dave Arcelanian.
No, don't do that. Shame on you. Boo. All right. Dave Arcelanian. Hey, coaches. What if you were to do coaches?
Ooh.
John L. Smith? I know he had kind of a crazy ending.
Coach Romney?
Yeah, he'd have to be on. I mean, the dang stadium was named after the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Romney. Would you put Wells on there?
It'd have to be under consideration.
Gary, yes?
I would still have to be in consideration. Yes, his second tenure taints it, but his first go-around?
9948, Charlie Weatherby. Absolutely. Or what about Chucky Shelton? Chuck Shelton, the great Chuck Shelton.
Interesting thoughts. Hey, we've got to take a time out here in the Full Court Press. Feel free to continue to chime in on the Guild Mortgage text line, 435-339-0321. Or you can call us. We've had some callers today. 752-1069. 435-752-1069. Help set us young whippersnappers straight if we're missing out on some of the great ones. This is not any set in stone, but a good consideration for some of the great ones that might be considered on a Mount Rushmore of Utah State football. The NFL free agency is underway. NBA trade deadline is coming up. It is, 24 hours away from that being done. Any big trades that have taken place? Will the Utah Jazz be involved? Should they be involved? We'll discuss all that coming up next here on the Full Court Press.
The Elements lunch menu is full of delicious items prepared with a personal touch at an affordable price. Elements wood-fired pizzas and calzones are an excellent choice for lunch that include barbecue chicken, classic pepperoni, or the whiteout with garlic cream, parmesan, house ricotta, and fresh mozzarella. From batter to order halibut with seasoned fries to the fan favorite Thai shrimp curry and more. Lunch at Elements is also available for takeout. Casual or professional. Open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Visit theelementsrestaurant.com for reservations.
This year, celebrate your anniversary with diamond jewelry from S.E. Needham Jewelers. Diamonds are a lasting gift and will be passed to future generations. When you shop our store, you'll enjoy a large selection of diamond bands, diamond pendants, and diamond earrings. Or perhaps this is the year to remount your diamond in a new one-of-a-kind wedding ring. Design it yourself and have one of our goldsmiths make the perfect ring. If you're in the market, come today. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
It's the Cache Valley Media Group Home and Garden Show, presented by Anderson Seed and Garden. It all happens this Friday and Saturday at the Eccles Ice Center. Well over 100 vendors with garden, concrete, doors, windows, pest control, landscaping, cabinetry, home remodeling, solar information, tree care. The list is endless. Food, fun, and kids activities provided by the United Way of Cache Valley. Free parking, easy access, and so many ideas at this year's Cache Valley Home and Garden Show at the Eccles Ice Center this Friday and Saturday.
I'm Sean Hamblin, the CERTA mattress rep for the state of Utah. Because Fisher Home Furnishings is one of our premier CERTA dealers, we've given them an exclusive offer. Fisher's has agreed to take 2 truckloads and liquidate all remaining last year's premium CERTA mattresses. You'll save $300, $500, and up to $1,000 on these premium CERTA mattresses. This is a one-time offer and will only last as long as the inventory is in stock. Special no-interest financing is available. 2 truckloads directly from CERTA, $300, $500, and up to $1,000 off on these 2 truckloads of last year's premium CERTA mattresses, exclusively at Fisher Home Furnishings.
We all believe our team is the best. Whether you're a Bobcat, a Wolf, a Grizzly, a Mustang, or a Riverhawk, we can all agree on one thing. Les Olson Company is the best choice for your office technology needs. So if you need to copy it, print it, scan it, or network it, Les Olson Company is there for all of your office technology needs. Just Les Olson it. Visit lesolsonit.com today.
Les Olson Company.
Talking the sports you care about. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen here on the Full Court Press. Boy, great feedback today.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know, anytime we get a chance to talk about the great ones, the former players that really stood out, it's a lot of fun. And you have differing opinions. And really, Ajay, I find that it kind of depends on what your era was when you were paying attention.
What do you mean?
I think that when you were in your younger years, you tend to remember or think things in your formative years that those were more impactful to you. So I think there's sometimes a age class that will remember things as they used to be as better than perhaps they are currently.
No, that's a good point.
Which isn't to say that's wrong. Don't get me wrong, because sometimes those were better players. And there was a great run there for Utah State where they were a powerhouse, regularly sending guys to the NFL, regularly having guys in the NFL play at very high levels. So they were producing great talent. But there's also been some really good talent recently, too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to separate the recency bias, is what many people will call it, versus, what they, you want to ignore those who built the ground first. But you got to have a resume that's going to, really stick out to you. And I felt like basketball was a little bit tougher because, there was just so many stars. In regards of Utah State basketball itself, there was a lot of stars. And Merrill came along, Ketta came along. You had Marvin Roberts, Gray Grant, Wayne Estes, Tony Brown. The list goes on and on. I think it was tougher then for basketball than it is for football. But it's tougher to make an argument for basketball than it was for football, but it's tougher to find players who actually have a glowing resume to put them on a Mount Rushmore for football.
Well, and I think also you have to consider who were they with and who were they going against. Certainly the Mountain West Conference today, the teams that Utah State players have to go up against today and over the last 7 years or so. How is that competition compared to what some of those guys were doing in the 60s and 70s? Or even in the 80s. So, but there were some great players at some great runs at Utah State. That's what's fun about having this discussion.
That's a good point. Absolutely.
So let's shift gears, Ajay. It's a Wednesday.
Yep.
What went wrong Wednesday?
Well, if your name's Texas, if your name's Georgetown, if your name's San Diego State,
if your name's Big Ten.
Yeah. Good one. Good one. I like that. Hey, did the NCAA tournament become more boring for you because the casual blue bloods of Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina weren't the powerhouses that they were and weren't a part of the tournament? Because it seems like when Duke's in there, people want to watch it because they want to see Duke lose. North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas. Kansas was in it, obviously. UNC was, but you were... Just the dominance of those teams kind of drew people to the TV because they wanted to see dominant teams like that get beat.
I like watching the upset. I like cheering for the underdog.
Yes.
If the team that I'm pulling for is not in it, I'm always pulling for the upset.
Okay.
And does it hurt TV ratings that Loyola Chicago is making a deep run instead of maybe a Michigan State? Tom Izzo on the sidelines? Maybe. Does it hurt that Duke is not there and Kentucky's not there? Maybe. But as far as entertainment value, man, that's what I love about this tournament. Is the chaos. It's so unpredictable every year. And every time that ball goes up, you don't know what's going to happen. It could be an Abilene Christian who knew who they were upsetting Texas with their huge budget that they have, the huge resources that they have. But you have this little Abilene Christian who hasn't been playing Division I basketball for all that long. That's what I love about this tournament. That's what I love about giving the kids and the coaches the chance to determine their own fate. Instead of a group of people coming together and saying, this is the order, this is the finish, this is how it's going to come to an end this year. Except for 4 teams. It's not right. That's what I love about college basketball, that there is a way that the NCAA has held on to that. They have not yielded their authority to somebody else, that they have continued to preserve a way to let the players determine their fate.
And that's a good way to put it. I mean, when you give them one game, right, you get one game, and if you play bad in that game, it's it. You got one game to play the best game of your life to move on in the tournament. You give credit to Loyola Chicago because they've done it a few times. Give credit to this Albany Christian and Texas team. You laugh, but I'm
still
serious.
Struggle with their name. Abilene Christian. Now, I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. I like seeing the upsets and just seeing how far this team can go that didn't get a lot of credit earlier on. And just these teams that turn it on late in the season, all of a sudden, look what they're doing. Like, I cheer against Syracuse, but look what they're doing. That's a kind of a fun story. Oregon State, look what they're doing. They were terrible in the regular season. Both of those teams had to play well in their own conference tournaments to get in. And now that they're there, they've kept the momentum going.
Yeah, no, it's
But you still have a team like Gonzaga that's just so dominant. Can they be slowed down? That's the big question.
What about what went right? Pac-12?
Boy, wow.
Are you kidding me?
What a statement.
A conference that was getting made fun of
rounds.
Since like August of last year turns into basketball and goes to the NCAA tournament, flips the switch, and now they're 5-6-1 or whatever it is.
9-1.
9-1. Jeez. That's impressive, Eric.
You talking about NCAA units coming back to your conference?
All they had to do was get rid of Larry Scott at the end of the season, and everything was going to go right. And here we are. Yeah, absolutely. What else went wrong? Nets tonight. I guess Lakers. LeBron James sprained his ankle. He's out for it's looking like a month is what they're saying. A month. He's out. And Anthony Davis isn't fully healthy. The Nets have Irving, Durant, Harden, and Griffin out tonight versus the Jazz. So maybe what went wrong, national television for basketball? NBA? Right?
Yeah.
Top team, versus one of the better teams in the East, and instead you're going to get the Jazz versus the bench warmers.
Eric Walden, he follows the Utah Jazz.
Yep.
For the Salt Lake Tribune. He is tweeting, that the Utah Jazz could be a dark horse candidate to land J.J. Redick as a buyout guy.
That sucks. I'm so sick of this.
Brooklyn, though, is probably the front runner.
Brooklyn's going to get him. He ain't going to Utah.
Why not? His skill set would fit in perfectly.
He hates Utah. He ain't going there.
If he has a chance to score a lot of points, be a significant contributor, and potentially win a championship.
Yeah. He ain't, well, okay,
Look,
Jazz,
you're dogging on Bojan Bogdanovic.
The Jazz aren't going to win a championship.
Don't they need to make that move?
Stop it. The Jazz are not winning a championship. Stop it. It's unhealthy what you're doing, Eric.
I didn't say they're going to win the championship, but to have a good opportunity to play for one.
Wait, time out. Explain what a good opportunity would be. What going to the Western Conference Finals or losing in the second round? I'm just saying. I'm trying to make sure that I keep everything real.
What went wrong Wednesday? Why does Ajay continue to hate on the Utah Jazz?
I don't. I'm just trying to help you stay real. Okay? You don't need to freaking go out there and be like, hey, Jazz are going to the Western Conference Finals. Definitely have a shot at the champion. No, you don't. When LeBron and AD get back and they're healthy, you're in deep trouble. When Kawhi, PG-13, and this Clippers is healthy and they're playing in the playoffs, you're in trouble.
That's why you need shot makers.
Oh, I thought Joe Ingles and Bojan Bogdanovic for shot makers. I thought you had it.
Here's what Woj reported earlier today. JJ Redick and the New Orleans Pelicans appear headed for a buyout. Redick still keeps an off-season home in Brooklyn, and the Nets appear to be the front-runner for him. Redick has also had a long-standing relationship with Utah Jazz coach Quinn Snyder and could consider joining the Western Conference leaders. But the Jazz they'd have to dump somebody else. They'd have to cut somebody, wouldn't they, to make a spot for him?
Yeah.
They got
How do they have the money for that, by the way?
The Jazz are actually a little bit over the tax line.
Get rid of George Niang. I know that's a lot to ask.
Eric Walden is reporting that it seems unlikely that the Jazz will make a trade before the deadline.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But there are some other notable guys who could be on the move. Aaron Gordon from Orlando. We heard Victor Oladipo at the top of the hour. He could be on the move. Kyle Lowry from Toronto.
Yeah, dude. Where does Oladipo end at? I guess he wants to go to Miami. That's his hope. So him, Butler. But then if you got to trade Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, man, that's a big loss for Miami if they got to give those guys away just to get Oladipo.
Ajay, I need you to be the one to read our latest text on the Guild Mortgage text line.
Yes. I'd love to. Let's see.
From 9463.
9463. Ajay, you can't be the voice of the local sport in Cache Valley and then completely denounce any possibility of the Jazz winning the championship, man. They're the 1 seed. Got to show some hope. They're actually good. You're supposed to be the person who hypes them up. Don't give in to Nick Wright's philosophy, please. Okay, first of all.
Amen, 9463.
Okay, no, calm down.
Preach.
You calm the fetch down. Listen, 2 things. 1, Nick Wright sucks, okay? There are people who made a mistake in their careers. Nick Wright is one of those guys. 2, 9463. Eric, how many times have you gone into a Jazz? You're incredibly optimistic that we're going to be in the Western Conference Finals. We're going to be in the NBA Finals, only to get beat by Kobe in the second round, get beat by James Harden in the first round, get swept by the Golden State Warriors, get beat by the Lakers. We go in with so much hope, and I think I've been hurt so many times by the Utah Jazz that I mean, when they were up 3-1, okay, and I went into full jinxie mode, and I guaranteed that we would be in the Western Conference Finals when we were up. We were up 3-1 and we lost. I was sad. I was devastated. I was hurt. I felt betrayed by the Utah Jazz. You're up 3-1 and you can't win one game to get you to the second round. Don't tell me
it's a personal betrayal.
Yes. And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm being a realist. The Jazz are a good basketball team, absolutely. But come playoff time, when LeBron's healthy, AD's healthy, the Lakers are a bad matchup for the Jazz. When Kawhi and PG-13 and that Clippers team is healthy, as we've seen before, they're a bad matchup for the Utah Jazz.
Jazz beat them when they were healthy early in the year.
No, they did. Remember, because they played the Clippers in that same week. They beat them when they didn't have anybody, and then the next night or 2 nights later, they played them when they had everybody healthy, and the Clippers really handled the Jazz.
But you're forgetting about the game early in the season. On January 1st.
By the way, 2787
106 to 100.
Who played in that game?
They were fully staffed.
They were?
Yes. I'm pulling up the box score right now.
2787. Ajay is 100% right. He states the facts. The Jazz will not win.
Kawhi Leonard played 39 minutes. Serge Ibaka played 34 minutes. Patrick Beverley played 28 minutes. Paul George played 38 minutes. Nick Batum, 35. That's your starting lineup.
Yeah.
Lou Williams off the bench played 25. Lucas Kennard, 18. He was their big free agent acquisition.
Okay. Well, then help me here.
Off season.
And again,
Paul George put 25 points.
9-4-6-3. I'm not trying to denounce the Utah Jazz. I'm not trying to throw a dark cloud over the organization. But in a 7-game series versus the Los Angeles Clippers, you think the Jazz would come out of there with a win? In a 7-game series versus that Clippers team. 9-4-6-3. Not a real Jazz fan. Shaking my head. I am a real Jazz fan. I love the Utah Jazz. I'm a diehard Jazz fan, but I've been through enough pain. All right?
You don't want to put yourself out there because you don't want to get hurt again.
Yes. Okay?
You're just trying to protect yourself.
As Michael Scott once said, I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm not, though.
Hey, Ajay, some sad news. When we talk about trade deadline, because of the way things work with trading and if you cut a player and whatnot, anyway, you're not going to all the details, but bottom line here is the Jazz are not allowed to reacquire Ed Davis or Tony Bradley in a trade or sign them as free agents.
I bet you $20 the Jazz came up with that rule so they didn't have to acquire Ed Davis or Tony Bradley.
So, sorry, Ed, he's not coming back this year.
Why, man? See, here's your problem. Like, you are so sucked into the Jazz fandom that you forget that we had Tony Bradley backing up Rudy Gobert.
That's why I'm so high on them this year.
And you're so high on Royce O'Neal.
Yes, he plays 5 positions.
You think George Niang should be an all-star?
I've never said that.
Yes, you pretty much did. Without saying it, you did. Because you didn't want to come out.
I didn't say it, but I said it.
Yes. Because he didn't want to come flat out and say, by the way, he's an all-star. There's so many problems here, Eric.
What's one of the better three-point shooters in the NBA?
Okay, but wait, you haven't even answered my question. Fully healthy team, Jazz and Clippers, 7-game series. You would say who?
I would take the Jazz.
You're crazy.
I think they have.
Oh my gosh,
more shot makers.
Really? Because Bojan can hit the broad
side
of the bar.
They're a good defensive team, too.
Bojan, right now, they're nicknaming him Brock Miller. That's not nice. I'm serious. Well, okay, 7-game series versus a fully healthy Lakers team. Lakers or Jazz?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd probably lean more to Lakers.
See, 9-4-6-3. Told you. I told you.
I think the Jazz have more depth. But fully healthy LeBron, a fully healthy Anthony Davis, those are some real matchup problems. But if we're going depth, pound for pound.
7-game series. And you take the Lakers. I would too.
Barely.
Well, you think it's going...
In 7 by 1.
You think it's going 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
If you're in charge of hiring a company for commercial janitorial services for your building, call American Maintenance. For reliable cleaning of your business, American Maintenance is your simple solution. Curb-to-curb services, American Maintenance has you covered. For commercial janitorial services, American Maintenance. Call 512-0014. That's 512-0014.
When it's time for a new haircut, don't cut into your wallet. At New Horizons Beauty College, haircuts, color, highlights, pedicures, and manicures are far less expensive than going to a salon. The students at New Horizons Beauty College are trained in all the latest trends and techniques. You'll get a great look at a great price. Plus, New Horizons has great prices on the products to help you maintain that new look. All services performed by students and closely supervised by licensed instructors. New Horizons Beauty College, 550 North Main in the Clock Tower Plaza in Logan.
It's time to vote for the Best of Northern Utah presented by Thermo Fisher.
Best of Northern Utah.
Vote every day through March 29th at bestofnorthernutah.com.
Best of Northern Utah.
Let your voice be heard and reward your favorite local businesses in and around Cache Valley.
Best of Northern Utah.
Vote now at bestofnorthernutah.com. It's the 2021 Best of Northern Utah presented by Thermo Fisher. Vote now through March 29th.
Best of Northern Utah.
Girls, insist he take you to Jarek's. Picking out your wedding ring is an experience you will never forget. Come to a place where the mood is right and the setting is perfect for romance. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan. The perfect collection of memorable designs, classic creation, and modern marvels. If you want an intimate, romantic experience you will never forget, then insist he takes you to Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's at 930 North Main in Logan.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
Cache Valley is absolutely beautiful. It's always fun to be outdoors. Winter is the perfect time to let the allergy clinic inside the Cache Valley Hospital and now in Providence help you with venom testing for next spring and summer. The allergy clinic offers testing and treatment to life-threatening stings from honeybees, yellow jackets, white-faced hornets, yellow hornets, and wasps. Independent physicians Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette offer Cache Valley a full-time allergy clinic in 2 locations, Providence and inside the Cache Valley Hospital. The allergy clinic accepts most insurance, including SelectMed. Call the allergy clinic at 753-7880. That's 753-7880.
Summer is just around the corner. Don't crank up your AC unit before getting it serviced. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning is the team you should call for quality on-time service. If your system needs replaced, think York. York has the best warranties in the business with affordable financing options. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 752-7272 or stop by their showroom west of DI. Online at advancedheating-ac.com.
Comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
The Aggies are number one here. The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen here on the Full Court Press. Don't forget to vote on the Best of Northern Utah.
Best of Northern Utah.
That's where you go. Cast your ballot.
Best of Northern Utah.
You can vote in 10 different categories once a day, and make sure once you have select your votes, make sure you submit your ballot so it counts, and then go back the next day and do it again.
Best of Northern Utah.
That's right, bestofnorthernutah.com. Presented by Thermo Fisher.
Best of Northern Utah. Oh, man.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I'm going to rip my ears out.
So, NBA trade deadline is coming up tomorrow, but the NFL has also been very active with free agency. Ajay, I think just about every NFL team has been active to some degree or another.
Yeah, my Patriots, man, they're getting at it a little bit. I like it. Spicy.
They've probably been as active as anybody.
Milton Aguilar's been signed. He's kind of old, but I like him. Henry Anderson. They just signed James White today, by the way. They got back David Andrews. Hunter Henry, the tight end for the Chargers, is headed our way. Ted Karras, who is, I think, with the Dolphins. And Kyle Van Noy, the best linebacker in the AFC, is headed our way, too.
Thanks to intern Cody for digging this nugget out. Patriots have spent $137.5 million in guaranteed money over 2 days on free agents.
None of them named J.J. Watt. That sucks. He's headed to Arizona. That's crazy. Yeah. He's going to hate it there.
Does anybody still try to pursue Deshaun Watson, or is it?
No, I think that
he's just too toxic right now.
You can't. Yep, it's too heated. You can't. That's too bad too, because he had a lot of suitors.
Tampa brings a lot of guys back.
Yeah, they got Sue back, Gronkowski back, Brady's back. They got everybody back. They didn't lose a soul. That's incredible.
And the Green Bay Packers look like they're going to restructure Aaron Rodgers'
Yeah.
contract.
Okay, so what does that do to Jordan Love?
Mercedes Lewis.
Does Jordan Love just got to sit it out then?
Which I think is fine. I think
for how many
needs
years
more time.
though, man?
Look, Aaron Rodgers he backed up Brett Favre for a couple of years.
For a while.
Yeah. That worked out all right.
By the way, 2787 had texted in. The Jazz have a great team, but when it comes to the games that really count for some reason, they always find a way to choke and lose. It drives me nuts. I am with you. The bigger the game, the worse the team, the worse they are. That's how it is. The bigger the game, the worse the opponent, the worse the Jazz are. That's how it's always worked. Oh, we're playing the Nets without their best players, all 5 of them. Let's go lose by 6. And shoot 20%.
The Nets are 16-2 in their last 18 games. But who knows who's going to play tonight?
Yeah, that's the thing, is who's going to play tonight.
It's going to be on here on the Fan.
Yeah.
Game at 7:50. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off. But it will also be an ESPN game. I'm sure they're tickled that Big Three aren't there.
They got to be a little... Hey, 8577 wants to know, if Kettle leaves for the NBA, we need to recruit a better center. Shaman Sabala and Dorius aren't going to cut it. I think we got to wait on Shimon. Let's see what he does.
Yeah. You need a... Look, Ketta's kind of once in a generation.
Oh, yeah.
Talent.
Ketta's... Yeah.
So to think you're going to get somebody that's just going to be like him...
Or
good
close
luck
to him?
With that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Good
That's
luck
just
with
not
that.
going to happen.
So, but the offense probably isn't going to run through the center next year. The center is not going to be the focal point of the offense.
We need to find somebody who the offense can run through then. Is it Raleigh? I mean, does he get better shooting, be more consistent?
Yeah. Bean, Marco?
It can't run through Bean. If it runs through Bean,
Bean's specialty
we are screwed.
Is cleaning up. And
Yeah, it cannot. That offense cannot go through Bean.
I mean, they have set plays for him.
It's fine, but
Which
no,
fine,
no.
But not as their featured guy.
No, please no. I love Bean too.
Hey, thanks for all the
love
feedback
him.
today. It was a ton of
Yeah,
fun.
it was fun. Thanks, guys.
We'll be back here tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.